Hello, y'all. Welcome to week 42. As I say that, I think about this very strange comment that somebody left me. It said something like, this is week 14, and last week was week 13, and next week will be week 15. So in response to that strange comment, this is week 42, and last week was week 41, and next week will be week 43. With that said, I normally make a video every other week, but I just really didn't have the motivation last week, so I'm doing it now on my week 42. Anywho, I wanted to make a comment on a video I watched. I believe the screen name was CL Broadway. I apologize in advance if I'm quoting you wrong, because it's been a few weeks since I watched the video. But the impression I got from her was that she was upset that it took her so long to get to goal. It took 21 months, and that for a few months there, her loss would be 0. And I look at a loss of 0 as, progress, because that's maintaining. In the past, when I've gained, 30 pounds in a month or 10 pounds in a month, or, the number is always steadily going up, when it's staying at 0, that's progress. So a few years back when I weighed 242 and I got down to 200, I actually ended up staying at 200 for about 2 years. And I actually was perfectly fine with weighing 200 because I looked at that as progress. I'm maintaining this weight that I lost, and it's not coming back. That's huge progress. There's been times when I lost 20 pounds and gained 40, and lost 40 and gained 80. So if you lose weight and you stay there, that's progress. So definitely maintaining is progress. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't get stressed out. Be happy that you are maintaining. Your body's going to do what it wants to do. Maybe sometimes you can make some changes and something happens. Maybe sometimes you don't make any changes and you still lose weight. Weight loss is a very complex thing. And just like I mentioned in my last video, that weight loss is not a goal that you just set and then one day you're there. It's this thing that you have to work on every single day, every single hour, every single meal. And for some of us at certain times, it's like every single minute of every single day, depending on how intense your food cravings or your thoughts are and stuff like that. So weight loss is very physically and mentally, not necessarily draining, but in a way draining. Yeah. So, like I've mentioned before, I've kind of backed off. I'm not necessarily trying to lose right now. Just kind of trying to maintain. If I lose, awesome. If I don't, I don't get too upset about it. With that said, I'll segue into my numbers. Week 40, I stayed the same. I think that was 145. Week 41, I gained a half a pound. I was 145.5. And again, without making any changes, without doing anything different, for week 42, I lost 2 pounds, and I'm 143.5. The scale, I think, actually likes to mess with me, because when I first stepped on it, it said 143. And, you get excited when the number's a little lower, so I stepped on the scale like 5 times, which maybe is a little obsessive. But I haven't been weighing myself really in between weigh-in days. But anyways, I stepped on it a couple times and it would say 143 and then it would say 144. So what I did was I just weighed myself later in the day and it said 143.5. So I took that as my number for the week. What else is going on? I've been having a couple bad days emotionally, just feeling kind of down or stressed or whatever. So I did catch myself starting to go towards food a couple times. One time I opened up the fridge, and before grabbing something, a little voice in my head, there's people that live in there, said, "The answer is not in the refrigerator, Kelly." And then a couple days later, I was upset, and I think I was eating pizza. I don't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was pizza because, again, the little voice in my head, maybe it's the logical me, says, "Kelly, the answer is not in this box." And I stopped eating what I was eating. So that's kind of like my viewpoint right now, is if I start getting off track a little bit, like I just remind myself, this is not the answer. I'm not going to get any kind of relief. And another thing, going back to the weight loss being a daily goal, an hourly goal, a minute by minute goal, it's all a bunch of little decisions that add up in the end. And sometimes when I get in a situation where I want to eat something and I'm not necessarily hungry and I know I'm not doing it for the right reason, I remind myself of that. This one little decision is what matters. It's not, the grand, I don't know how to explain it. I guess I'm still organizing my thoughts on that, but it's like every little decision I make matters. Like, yeah, I can, eat something here and there that I don't necessarily want in my diet. It's not going to throw me off track completely, but all those little decisions add up. What else? As far as food-wise, I really feel like I'm just eating, like I said last week, like a normal person. I'm so glad that I can eat carbs and not be, totally freaked out and scared by them. Like I mentioned, I've eaten pizza. I eat sandwiches. You know, I eat oatmeal. I ate oatmeal cookies the other day. I'm really glad that I can have carbohydrates in my diet and not be freaked out, because I know once the Atkins phase kind of hit and everybody was doing low carb, low carb, low carb, then you start getting worried about, oh my God, I don't want to eat all these carbs. And I feel really bad for people out there that are, you know, limiting themselves to 20 to 40 carbs a day, because it's like, I mean, they can't even eat fruits and vegetables. And I think that fruits and vegetables are, you know, natural. They're from the earth. That's what God gave us to eat. I don't think there's any harm in eating those things. So again, I'm glad I can eat those things. One thing that I haven't started doing yet, but I'm really interested in, and I have made a couple changes in my diet, is a book I found called The Glycemic Index. What it's talking about is how different foods take different amount of times to burn. And it shows you here what foods he calls a red light, yellow light, and a green light. So for instance, I'll just read green light. Okay, red light, melons. And he's saying that those things, melons for fruit, it burns too quickly. You're going to be hungry again soon after. The computer's doing something very weird. Yellow light, bananas. You know, those are kind of middle ground. Green light, apples. So he's saying if you are going to eat fruit, choose an apple over a banana. You know, choose a banana over a melon. So it's just really interesting. Same thing. I don't know. For instance, under protein, red light is bacon, regular bacon. Yellow light is turkey bacon. Green light is Canadian or lean ham bacon. So it's interesting. It's just kind of showing you, if you make a little shift in your choices, how it takes your body longer to burn it, so you're going to burn more calories. For instance, he says that oatmeal is a really good thing to eat for breakfast in the morning, but rather than eating the instant oatmeal, find oatmeal that was, I think they call it stone ground, something like that, like the different way that they grind it up. The thing is when we eat foods that are highly processed, our body burns through them really quickly. And it's, I don't know, I need to read more before I pass this information along, but that's kind of like the basis of what I understand so far. So I am interested in making a few changes, you know, incorporating small changes, going from maybe food that are in the red and the yellow into the green. What else is going on? I worked out a couple times with my trainer. He started working out at the gym again, so I'm happy about that. I told him I really want to focus on my midsection, my inner thighs, and this part of my arm. God, some of the workouts on my stomach have just been horrible. Like, I know people, I've heard people say this before, like, I didn't know I had those muscles. But let me tell you, like, I really didn't know that I had muscles in some of those places, like along my sides. I don't know, it's a lot of work, but hopefully I can get motivated to keep working on that, because one thing that I do think that will be in my future is plastic surgery, because it seems like the farther I go, the worse my skin is starting to look. I think the fat is kind of like redistributing, and so it's leaving those areas that had the extra skin to be even less full. So the problem is that when I'm putting on clothes, like let's say I can wear a size 4 now, but I have this incredible muffin top hanging over the edge. Or I went to a dress store yesterday and I put on a size 5 dress, and it's really cute, but it's like, because of how my thighs are, where the where the skirt cuts off, you can see like this wrinkly skin hanging down, and that just looks horrible. So I kind of feel like I've come this far that I don't want to give up now. You know, I've come so far that I think maybe working out as much as I can to tone it myself, and then if anything's left, do go ahead and get plastic surgery. Another thing is, I don't have a butt. I've never had a butt, and I think after losing weight, I have even less of a butt. The problem for me isn't cosmetic-wise. It's more about trying to keep my pants up. You know, when I'm bowling with my boyfriend and I'm constantly pulling my pants up, pulling my pants up, pulling my pants up. And it's like I'm trying not to, you know, let anyone notice, but it's like when I've done it literally probably 100 times in the matter of an hour, like that's really annoying. So I kind of want to use, you know, fat from my sides and have it move to my butt. I don't know, just some things I'm thinking about right now. So a couple times I've had this feeling of like, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe like it's like I'm angry for what I did to myself, allowing myself to get as big as I did, because now I'm suffering the repercussions. Luckily, I didn't really have that many health repercussions that I know of, but it's like physically now the way my body looks that I've lost this weight. You know, if I had never done that to myself, I wouldn't, you know, be in the situation I am now, where yeah, I'm wearing a size 4, but then I have all this like stuff hanging over the top. So I don't know. It's not that huge of a deal. I'd much rather have the extra skin and, the whatever here and there. But I just, like I said, I'm a little upset with myself for ever allowing myself to do what I did to myself. But I can't live in the past. I can only do something about it now. And I'm at the 10-minute mark, so I thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.